Hey, what's up, YouTube? Sprocket. Coming to you tonight with a video I've been meaning to do for a couple weeks now, at least. Pardon me while I hit my vape. This is the third attempt at this video. As most of you know, I only have mobile, and I don't have a good editing program, and also I'm just not that tech savvy because I'm old, and I'm old school. When I grew up, you had all your phone numbers in your head. And when I was a teenager, we had these things called chingers. And Sugary, you're going to know what I'm talking about. A few others. But these chingers were like a little recording device. They were handheld, and it looked like a phone pad. And I believe you were supposed to be able to dial a number and play it back, and the phone would dial it, or I forget what the legit use for these things were, but kids were hacking them and recording the sound of a payphone accepting a quarter. And these things actually had good ones, good chingers, had 5 and nickel, a dime, and quarter buttons. And you could press these buttons and it would make the beep. You would hold it up to the phone receiver on the payphone, and it would think that you were dropping coins in. Well, they did catch on, and they caught on the West Coast quicker because you kids out there were on it. But they caught on in the mid to late 90s, and probably mid 90s. You couldn't use them after, I think, 96-ish. It was getting sketchy. And if you press the buttons too fast, the operator would come on and start yelling at you, threaten you, because they knew you couldn't put coins in that fast. So yeah, look it up. Chingers, kids. You have no idea what we went through for communications back then. Then again, it was pre 9/11, and we could send whatever we wanted through the mail to whoever, wherever. General delivery, even. Pick up a 10 box of mushrooms, general delivery, and go have our fun at the dead shows, the fish shows. Anyway, I digress a lot, but that's not the real time up there. It's actually like, 6:57. My clock says over here, so it is 6:53. Yeah. All right. So let's get back to this. Here we are with this image, right? This is a supposed star in the sky. So when I seen this, I had just watched a Naughty Beaver video 2 days before that. And he's talking about the prophecies and everything else. And I remember this image, so I went back to it. See what I'm talking about? So let's go a little deeper, shall we? So I went back to this, right? Here we go. We'll cover the red here in a minute. Yeah, we're gonna cover that in a minute too. Sorry. Okay. So let's go back to here. Look familiar? Right. Here's the 3 of them here. Not as good of a resolution. But this also is similar here. Very similar. Okay. There's a clear pic. So don't worry about that red circle. But what we're looking at here is this one here. Oh, hold on. There we go. Looking at this one and this one. Go away. Okay. So they look pretty similar, right? Now, what I want to figure out is why there's only 2 of those, and the one that I have circled in the red, which looks like a crescent moon, but turned to the side. which is what we're having nowadays, which is what I was going to get into after the wheel. But Steve over at WSO, there you go. See that? These are the new, air quotes, the new phases of the moon. We know, just like Steve said, growing up, these were our moon phases. Okay? Waxing to waning, or waning to waxing. Insert your Daniel Son Karate Kid joke here. So, all right, those were the moon phases. And we've known our moon's been messed up lately, and now it's official. They have come out and they've said, what does it say? Oh, it's all about reflected sunlight. Really? It wasn't all about reflective sunlight for the 40 years I was growing up before this madness. Right. Anyways, so look at that right there. I got circled. And then, oh, sorry. Let's go back here. Right. So, we would have never seen anything like that in the sky to compare to these Sumerian tablets, that are at least 35,000 years old. And we would have made assumptions and assumed about that, but it would have not been on this level, at this angle, I'll say. So what I am proposing for this is we are seeing it before the second coming of Christ and for the end of this miserable human experience, which is okay. It's okay that it's miserable because that's why we're here. In my opinion, we are here to experience all the lower vibrations of the astral plane without knowledge of every spectrum of emotion and experience, whether it's human or spiritual, physical or non-physical. How would you ascend? How would you be an ascended master without knowledge and experience in the lowest vibrations to the highest vibrations? I feel like it would be impossible to achieve ultimate enlightenment without knowing the darkest side, the lowest vibrations. Anyways, I digress again, but that's me. So that is what I believe is going on these tablets here. And so that brings me back to the star, quote, air quote, star. So I'm sure a lot of you guys with better equipment, better editing skills, and better with videos, period, can and research. So I'm all right at research, but again, I only have my mobile, and I am a stay-at-home full-time dad, so I don't get a whole lot of time, except for 7 in the morning, to do these kind of things. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting. I hope this fits into other people's puzzles, and definitely shout out to Naughty Beaver. If you guys aren't subbed to Naughty Beaver, go over, check him out, go through his archives. That cat is on point with everything that we're about to go through and everything we've been through for a while now. And it's my humble opinion that Naughty Beaver, you're on point. You are dead on, and people need to realize that there are more layers than just the Christian blinders and the Bible blinders on. We all know here in the community that they have manipulated and changed the Bible. And we also know that CERN and the other rituals and the other time manipulation that's going on, dimensional manipulation, has changed our existence. Whether that's we died in 2012 and now we're in a simulation, which I don't think is true. If we're in a simulation, we've been in it the whole time. I don't think, I mean, they did collect enough data to run simulations on our existence, but I don't think that they would have the personal, and yes, they're in our heads. When you're on Facebook and you think of something and it pops up, you don't even say anything, you don't even type anything. The lady from DARPA, that joined Facebook, she was talking about that. They alluded to it would be thought to text, and they would only take the thoughts you had in the forefront that you were already going to write or say. But we know if they're in that deep, then they're actually 30 years deeper. So I forget what my original point was, but they are taking from our minds. That's why I got my front-facing camera covered all the time, because I do believe the AI has to read it through your eyes. The eyes are a window to your soul, they say. Again, I apologized for the deepness of my voice and the hoarseness and raspiness in the first video I tried to do. And just so y'all know, I have a huge new growth on my thyroid underneath my Adam's apple. It's making me pretty hoarse. And yeah, I used to have a whiskey voice when I was on tour with the Dead and Fish, but I don't anymore. You can probably check my other videos. Yeah, I have a deep voice, but it's not like this. So I'm sure through my phone microphone it sounds horrible. And I hope you can adjust your bass or treble or volume as needed. But I do apologize for the deep hoarseness. Anyway, so I hope this kicks off some sort of puzzle building for a lot of you guys, and please give me some input. Tell me what you think. I tried to look up Gelgamesh. Gelgamesh's wheel is what I was told was keeping souls here. It was a supposed device to keep souls here on Earth, and trap souls. But that leads me to think of the story I heard on Vinny Eastwood's show. This guy came on and was talking about Lucifer rebellion, and not the white hair guy. That's been all over the place. Which is a kook or not, I don't know yet, but he's out there, but we all are. And this guy was talking about how Lucifer was the son of the king and queen of Orion, the Orion Nebula, and he was next heir to the throne. Well, they denied him his heir, because his rightful heir, because they knew how potentially evil and bad he was. Sure enough, he got pissed off enough, pardon my lingo, about that, and he came to grab Earth via another place, which that's for another video. I'll get into that, talking about him and his boys going to a quadrant of space that was forbidden. It was a black hole, supposedly, and they went in, and those that got out got shattered into millions of pieces, possibly their souls. And that may be the people that think that we are here, all one, and living out this simulation on different vibrations, or this life on different vibrations and different manifestations of the same being. Those people, or if you're one of them, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because we're all descendants of somebody from back in the day, and whether it's good or bad, we can be good or bad now. So those people, I think, that are descendants of those bloodlines, of those fallen angels, are the ones that feel like they're living out this shared experience, which, yes, we're all sharing in this, but you know what I mean, actual shared vibration with other people, and they're the same as those people experiencing this existence, this plane of existence on different levels. It's quite a possibility. I thought that for a while, but once I realized that this earth is actually hell, there is no other hell. There could be worse places in the universe, but as far as the Christian hell, we're on it. We're in it. It's earth. That's because earth is Lucifer's realm. That's why I try not to say God anymore when I'm talking about the creator, the source of our light and our love. Because I believe that the word has been twisted, King James Bible, all that, used for manipulation of the masses. You guys know that, yada, yada. So they changed these words, and Yahweh, I think, is even a pretty Western pronunciation, a pretty white boy pronunciation of something that we cannot even pronounce, and that's our creator, our source. But I think in our language, in our Bible, God and Lord, those are all names for Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub. Some people think that's the same. I think that might be a different entity, but you know what I'm saying. So I try not to use those words. I use the creator, the source, or the creator source. So, sorry, I heard some floor squeaking. I didn't know if it was my little man or the people upstairs, but I'm sure my deep voice is bellowing through the apartment, and it is 7:11 a.m. So let me get through with this. It's going to be one of my longer videos, as it is already, and I haven't even touched on everything. So give me your input. Tell me what you think. Again, this is a close-up. Reminds me of this. Reminds me of this. Reminds me of those two on the right. And then in the red, we have that. End times, I think, because these stars that flash all the different colors, blue, red, green, yellow, whatever colors you see flashing in the night sky, I believe there was only one or two of them when I was growing up, and now there's a lot of them up there. I've seen 7, 8, maybe more easy on clear evenings, and I think that's part of the ascension process and part of the end times. Either that, or it's coming with these are coming with the new binary system, or our new binary star, Nibiru, Planet X, Wormwood. If those are all the same thing, or if they're separate, it doesn't matter. Because, I mean, I would guess what I'm thinking is right here, right? Well, so what if this is Wormwood, and this is Nibiru, or Planet X, and this is what our moon looks like when they come near? Well, being that if this indeed is Anunnaki, then these are the twins, right? Oh, sorry. These are the twins that are here in our solar system. And if you don't believe me, go check out Naughty Beaver, like I told you. He will show you the truth. And the twins are here. And I believe that's these two. And I believe when the twins come, or I am starting to think, not I believe, I am theorizing here. And I need you guys' help. Spread this around. Send it to Steve at WSO. Send it to Naughty Beaver. I don't have any of their emails, and I probably won't get to it because I'm a wingnut. I'm a spunion, and I'm a busy father. I only have mobile. If I had a desktop and some time, then maybe I could email them, or maybe I could conclude all this myself. But send it to those guys. Hopefully we can get a conversation started. I mean, get a hold of me. Sprocket Rages, Sprocket period Rages, all lowercase, at Yahoo, or Sprocket Rages at Gmail, all one word for Gmail. So anyways, let them know, let your people know, spread it, take the video, do whatever you want with it. I don't care. But I think these are the twins, and this is possibly what our moon looks like when the twins come. So, all right. That's all I gotta say. Flash through these one more time. Wheel, wheel, two wheels, two wheels, crescent, upside down. And again, or not again, but let me include in that too. Don't forget, guys, that there are a lot of flags in this world, countries' flags and other symbols that use that. And that dark spot right there could be a star in there for all we know. These tablets are pretty old, and also these images aren't that great. So we know this image, we've seen it lots, and I think it's one of their symbols for the end times or ascension process. So, all right, love and light, guys. I'm out.